Hi there, all back to normal. Later, why the director of Fiji Rugby Union's been fired. First though, protests across Australia against a ban on gender-affirming care in Queensland. 20 demos have seen many thousands of allies turn out. Transgender kids are being denied access to puberty blockers and hormone therapy while a review takes place. Dr. Tracy O'Keefe's from trans advocacy group SAGE and says the ban will create a black market.
This exists in China, in Russia, in many countries in the world. I see young people coming into clinic as well as older people who have been taking illegal hormones for years, which is so dangerous.
Elsewhere, Argentina's also banned gender-affirming care for under-18s, and trans athletes can't now compete in women's college sports in America because of the orange convicted felon and sexual abuser who runs the country. The director of Fiji Rugby Union's been fired for saying she's against lesbians playing in the sport. Lechipa Nolivo only started the job 4 days earlier. She told a newspaper the women's national game has a gay problem and lesbians shouldn't be allowed to play if the team's affected by them, whatever that means. Enjoy your retirement, bigot. And America's yearly Mood of the Nation survey finds only 51% are very satisfied or somewhat satisfied with attitudes towards gay and lesbian people there. That's the lowest stat in 12 years. For transgender people, the figure drops to 38%. Republican Party voters say they're happier with how queer people are treated. Hi there. Later, drag queens feel the love from IKEA. First though, it's exactly 2 years since the murder of transgender teenager Brianna Jai in northwest England. The 16-year-old was stabbed 28 times in the back, the head and the neck in a park in Warrington. Killers Eddie Ratcliffe and Scarlett Jenkinson were 15 at the time. The pair were given life sentences. Brianna's dad, Peter Spooner, shared some memories of her with Sky News.
The cheeky attitude, she was really funny. Even if she was naughty as a toddler, I could never tell her off because she'd pull a funny face at me. She used to do funny little dances and that, and beautiful. She was talented with her makeup. She wanted to do hair and beauty, after she finished school. It's difficult because I've been deprived of so many more memories now I could have with her.
Esther Jai, Brianna's mum, now campaigns for the protection of children. Her book about the life and death of her daughter, Under a Pink Sky, is out later this month. To Poland next, and the latest attempt by bedwetting bigots to censor an LGBTQ+ novel. Ironic, because these boneheads probably can't read. Warsaw's Museum of Modern Art's been selling Gender Queer, a memoir about sexuality and gender identity, in its bookshop. The right-wing opposition Law and Justice Party telling prosecutors it's child pornography. Spoiler alert, no. The book's also been targeted in America and Australia. And did not get the memo about IKEA being a big old ally of drag queens. The brand's been collabing with performer Dina Citron to help shift some of its storage solutions. She's got a lot of wigs, makeup and stage outfits to look after. And a display that mocks up a dressing room has been featuring in stores around the world. Hi there. Later, homophobia at a Dolly Parton musical. What? First though, claims Russia's working on a register of its LGBTQ+ citizens. Medusa, an independent news agency there, says it's got official confirmation police have been keeping informal lists for about a year now. Comes off the back of the non-existent international LGBT movement being designated as an extremist organisation. Konstantin tells DW News this led to his firing as an IT specialist in Russia for being gay.
I was suddenly afraid for my future. I no longer knew where I could work, or even how I could grow old in Russia. A few years ago, I was hoping for a promotion, a successful career. I wanted to save some money. But I can no longer be sure that someone won't come and block my bank account, confiscate my apartment, and so on.
He's now escaped to Barcelona. There were dozens of police raids on LGBTQ+ clubs and spaces in Russia last year, with data collected on the people who were there. Next, at least 84 people have been arrested in Tunisia for being or seeming queer. Amnesty International reckons there's a crackdown in the North African country where homosexuality gets you jailed. Some arrests follow online entrapment by police pretending to be LGBTQ+, with claims of forced anal examinations by authorities to prove sex between men. And at the risk of peddling stereotypes, you don't really expect to hear homophobia vomited up at a Dolly Parton musical. However, bigoted snowflakes have been triggered during a run of shows in the UK of the inclusion of a gay character shoving his sexuality down our throats. Yes, please. A number of audience members thrown out for homophobic heckling, and one performance actually had to be stopped for 20 minutes. No time to tell you that. Sir Keir Starmer's become the first sitting Prime Minister to publicly get tested for HIV, raising awareness of the UK's National HIV Testing Week. And in Australia, Drag Queens for Dignity's raising money for sanitary products for women, intersex and transmasculine people in prison. Hi there. Later, too many people reckon asexuality is curable. First though, you know how YMCA by the Village People is totally a gay anthem? Well, I could be sued for saying that. The group's only remaining original member, Victor Willis, has sent a cease and desist letter to Australian comedian Jim Jeffries. It's after he made the same outrageous assertion that the gay anthem is a gay anthem. Jim tells Triple M he's been given a 10-day ultimatum to take that back, which he's happy to do.
I've said something terrible here, haven't I? No one ever saw them as a gay band in any way, did they? If he says the YMCA is not a homosexual song, I have to take him on his word for it. But in the Navy and Macho Man are as gay as all balls.
Former members of the Village People who clearly didn't get the memo say, of course it's a gay anthem. Well, on your heads be it. People with nothing better to do at the International Boxing Association are again targeting two transgender fighters who aren't actually trans. The IBA plans legal action against the International Olympic Committee after Iman Khalif and Lin Yu-ting were allowed to compete at last summer's Games in Paris. The association's been emboldened by a new US presidential order called Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports. The background to this is a wee bit complicated. For a whole episode on it, check out our August 5th edition from last year. And about a third of people wrongly believe asexuality can be cured with therapy, if you go by a new survey. This is when someone experiences little to no sexual attraction. Research by King's College London finds about a quarter reckon asexuals just haven't met the right person yet, while 11% say asexuality doesn't exist. No time to tell you that. Google Calendar's default events no longer include Pride Month, but the removal's not due to politics, they say. And then Pinocchio's nose grew longer. And the Mardi Gras Film Festival kicks off in Sydney today, as does the Seen and Heard Queer Arts Festival in Dublin. Hi there. Later, it's Mardi Gras in Sydney. First though, a new sanctuary city for transgender people's been approved in the US. It means Worcester in Massachusetts is committed to trans rights, equal protections and access to gender-affirming care. Plus, the city won't cooperate with America's new government of deplorables, which is demonising transgender people and trying to deny their existence. Here are two who spoke out at the council meeting, which saw members vote for sanctuary status.
It demands a response from our elected officials to say, we recognize that you are under attack, and in Worcester, we are going to protect you.
I'm shaking right now. I don't want to be here.
Please.
I'm sorry, am I taking too long pleading for my life?
Please wrap up.
Since last month, the US government says it only recognises two genders, male and female. Germany's far-right main opposition party is more popular with gay men than any of the alternatives. About 28% of 60,000 respondents telling a survey for Europe's biggest queer dating app, Romeo, they'll vote for AfD in next month's elections. There have been concerns over mass immigration and the impact on German society of taking people in from homophobic countries. And hip hooray, Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras starts today. This year's theme for the 2.5-week event is Free to Be, celebrating diversity and equality, as you would hope. And headlining the Mardi Gras party on March the 1st, you've got Romy from the XX and DJ Honey Dijon. Let's hope they really cut the mustard. No time to tell you that. There's a new support group for LGBT people of colour at Dublin's Outhouse. And staying in Ireland, because we love the crack, the world's only queer matchmaking and arts festival, The Outing, is on this weekend in County Clare. I'm Kev McGraw. See you next week.